Hey everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 25, New Frontier, Swine Time, Episode 7. I am not really remembering where we left this, unfortunately. It's only been about 24 hours since I filmed, but I can't remember what the status was. I know that I did not succeed. It was maybe the barley I planted did not take a new coat of fertilizer. There's nothing else that I need to harvest this month. I'm not sure why I left it at this point. I guess I could go back and see, but I think the plan was to move on because we can plant barley this month, but we've harvested everything but the soybeans. We harvest soybeans next month. I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong here, and maybe you guys will yell at the screen, wait, you forgot something, but I'm sure I'll figure out what I forgot after I've done something to make sure that I can't fix it. So we're gonna get over here and get ready to harvest our soybeans. Because I can't think of anything else that needs doing. We look at what we've got that stuff. I think I did decide that we would be best off buying the weeder, since I have to pay for it twice a year, not once a year. But I think we can just move on. I really have to stop parking that over there every single time it hits that thing. Yeah, I think we're just going to move on and call it good. And be ready to rock, ready to harvest these soybeans. So we're just going to get these soybeans harvested. We'll go cut another tree down over there. And maybe next month, I think we're going to have to borrow the money for the weeder and pay it all back after a couple of months of progress with the trees. We also want to get the large sawmill, so at some point we're going to have to run the medium sawmill out. But for now, we can just roll forward and do this soybean harvest. Okay, we are now done with the soybeans for the moment. Although we still need to get... Oh man, that thing's gonna sit there and do that. Partial unload. We need to get our slurry back out and get that going. I keep thinking I ought to just sell this corn header, but I know that if I sell the corn header, I'm going to immediately decide that it would be a good thing to plant corn or sunflowers or something and be mad that I didn't sell it. Be mad that I sold it, I should say. I know that if I don't sell it, I'll just not need it for a long time, but if I do sell it, I'll immediately want it back. So I think I'm just gonna keep it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go get what slurry I can and hopefully get one of these fields turned over. We still gotta figure out what to do about those weeds. Oh yeah, I was gonna borrow the money, get the weeder, and get that going. But we can do that after the flurry. Although we definitely have time. I'm guessing there's more slurry in here. Well, yeah, we'll go get that flurried. $10K, $16K, is that? I think that's enough for one of these twofers, but I don't have any twofers. Okay. Well, I wonder if I can keep the... I wonder if I can keep the slurry. Right. Alright, we're gonna buy that now, like I said. Means we're gonna need to borrow some more money. Let's see here. Finances. Yep. Make sure I did not already buy it, right? That would be pretty crazy. Alright, cool. What the heck is that? that for loading from another tanker? Maybe. That's cool. But that's not what I wanted to fold. Let's actually purchase the thing. Yeah, we own it. Now it's time to go weed those potatoes. See if there's some other mounting. I guess there's not. It'd be pretty cool to get two tools on. But right, we're gonna get these potatoes done real quick like. This isn't potatoes though, this is barley. Alright, before we drive this thing back, I thought we would just check on what we've got down here. 31, we can probably fit another tree in there. But I think I'm going to cut it down at a different angle here. Maybe if we're lucky it'll be easier to cut up. Oh, of course, unless we encounter that fun problem. I gotta drive that slurry module back up and drop off the weeder and pick up the slurry distributor slash cultivator again. So we can get those soybean fields processed. Alright, 8. So I think maybe here. Let's right here. We'll figure it out eventually. Someday we'll figure it out. Someday we'll know where to cut these. Hopefully before we run out of oak. Of course, at 2 per tree, it's a little much. That's 2.8, okay. So I think what I'm going to do is grab, because I don't think, if we're lucky, it's one of these branches. That's 3.2. Man, not quite, but cutting off that branch would have definitely made it worse. So we'll just go to this. I'm pretty sure that'll make it. That's four trips instead of 3, but yeah, that's not too terrible. But man, that is really touchy. What is the deal? 2.2, it should not be having a problem. Must be stuck. Must be like stuck underneath. Alright, that worked. It's not too terrible of a way to get these in for now. I can see wanting to make it more. I'm not sure why it's got such a problem. We're 2.6, not 3. Talk about frustrating. Okay, that's too big. That's fine. We're gonna roll back up now, and can we do it down this side? I hope so. Actually, we can easily do it down this side. We'll just, I'll just pull transformer mode. Yeah, now we can drive skinny. We get back up there, drop drop just the weeder, and get the soybean fields, former soybean fields. We're gonna do potatoes in the 3, soybeans in a 2, and sorghum in the big one. Maybe we do potatoes in the 3, soybeans in both of these 2s, and sorghum over there. That might be a better way to go with it. That guy out. We gotta do this crazy loop-de-loo. And while that's transforming, we will have a look at the piggies. We got 100 babies and 100 big ones, and not much food left. So could be an algebra of survival kind of thing. If you happen to read any Terry Pratchett. But I think I'll just beat them. Rather than algebra of necessity, I think is what it's called. But in the meantime, oh, no, we gotta go back to this. Yep, no more potatoes, we can get food in. It is about time we put the sides on this trailer. At least make it. I guess that probably makes it 30K, I think. That'll keep them for a while. Oh, no more story? Okay, well, what do we got? We got 16K, that's at least one of these twos. We don't have any twos. Which means I'm gonna wait. It's not like we have to process or plant anything until March. In March we got our potatoes in the 3. And just saying this again so that maybe it sticks. Potatoes, sorghum, soybeans? Or no, it's potato. Yeah, 4 rows of soybeans, 3 rows of potatoes. Okay. Well, since that's not happening this month, and our wood is full, let's go to the mechanics and get the sides put on this trailer. Mention yes. Oh. We probably don't even have 20K pig food in the feed factory anymore, but that's alright. Yeah. We didn't even need it. $75. Well, piggos, what are y'all worth right now? 1,300. Yep. Is it 24 months or 32 months? Well, doesn't matter. But now they're rocking at 66K food, and we've got plenty in. I still find those little pigs really amusing. And we got barley and potatoes, sorghum and soybeans. Enough potatoes to roll through all of those, but the recipe is 450 and 450. So we are going to end up with more soybeans. Right. Well, we don't need this right now. Let's do a little bit more landscaping. Find our level. Go hard right there. Yep, there was somewhere around there is the actual level. Hard soften as well. Well, that's all right. Yep, already up to 4K big food. Nice. All right, so I think that's it for this month. So we're gonna move on, build up some slurry, and get our fields turned over. Right, we want to go here. All right, well that's enough for the 3 at least. The 3 row. I doubt it's enough to cover that thing, but you know, at least get the 3 row. We're gonna let the tree, or let the lumber mill rock on for another month before we go try to fill it, so we can actually get a whole tree in it. know, it acts like it's... Yeah, I didn't even have to turn the slurry applicator on. I just hit V and it started applying slurry. We don't need the double application. Even if the double application took us all the way up to full, it wouldn't make sense to use it, since as long as we actually wait a month, when we apply, when we plant things, we get another layer as well with the regular fertilizer. And we're not producing enough slurry yet. Across a year's time to be able to do it. Be able to like do all of our fields. I think we might start doing that now that we have more pigs. But not yet. Of course, I really do need to pay attention. Nicely enough. Nicely enough, it doesn't apply slurry unless it needs to, so that's good. Yeah, we're really pushing it right to the edge here. Okay. So we've got another month before we can do that field, maybe 2, depending on how much slurry these pigs produce. Of course, the babies aren't healthy when they first come out because they haven't had any food. And we'll probably fill up the rest of our... Excuse me, sir. Yeah, I'm here. Standing right here. Yeah, you can see that pig is 100% healthy. And this one just born, oh, still 100% healthy. Okay, 60% healthy. Okay, did we get more? That what happened? Oh, okay, we had babies a while back. Right. Yeah, so we're now full, which is great. Meantime, we'll keep making money with the wood. But our next step here is to get is to get enough is to get through to where we'll plant our potatoes while making sure that we have enough wood. So let's go visit the factory and verify. Yeah, that's we can drop that in, and then we can go move on to the next month. And every time. Alright, let's see what we got here in terms of slurry. Only 14. We may need 2 pig farms just to keep up with the slurry for the fields. Slurry for the fields to feed the pigs who make the slurry. I don't really want to try to slurry that field up until we have enough in the tank to actually do the whole thing. We've got time. Got until April, so that's fine. And we've got quite a bit of pig food now, which is awesome, although it looks like we're just about out of product. So let's have a look at what's left in there. Yeah, we're good on potatoes for a while, so going to 3 was a good idea, which means we probably don't need 3 again this time. I think we should go 3 on barley, which we did. Okay. So, yeah. More soybeans. Yeah, I think we're good. We'll go 3 on potatoes again. We got 3 on barley, and then the soybeans and the sorghum I think we'll be alright with. Maybe we should just extend that field over. But we still need the slurry to do it. But we can get more sorghum out of it if we just make it 3 rows wider, right? But in the meantime, we need to get down over here to these pigs. Worth 1,500. Not enough yet. All right, it's December. The sawmill's got 22. We can go put another 3 in the sawmill. Well, that's basically it. We still can't do anything in here. We need more than 50% for that. Pretty sure anyway. Especially since we're going to extend it. So let's just go to January. We can get money. And get money from the wood chips. We've got a bit of an issue. Can I dump this pig food back in the factory? Or do we actually need to buy a silo? I think we can dump it. Nice. Alright, we're going to go down and get the wood chips now. And see what's going on there. See how much money we can make. Now would be a good time to do stump grinding, since they're all visible. Yeah, now would be a great time. You can see all the stumps. Great time for stump grinding. think we would be really well off to just pay back this loan as well. I know I keep talking about buying more land, and we actually have the money now. Well, actually, yeah, we should. Although we don't have the slurry, so we'll be using fertilization again for our fields. I mean, we could just go another cycle with this and pay off the land in a few months, pay off the loans in a few months. And have the land to help with that. We could plant anything we want in that land. Doesn't have to. It appears we've got enough cycle for the pig food. So as long as we maintain that other field there, but we could throw down just about anything in March and make money on it. Not production level money, but we could do a massive load of soybeans for sale, for example, if we had more land. We could also do an actual fairly decent size of sorghum that way. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. As long as we keep putting a tree or two in the sawmill every couple months, we've got enough trees there. We're not going to run out of money, even on loan interest. So yeah, I think that's the answer. No, cancel. Dang it. Oh. I'd rather work with my Nexat fields than with this funky field. We can level that a little better and think about farmyard, or another pigsty would actually work really well over there. But for this, I think we're gonna go create a field. Now, if I bought this land, we would have to do a lot of clearing. As you see, 39 goes all the way to that line. It's like way over there. I know that's a bit of a drive, especially for managing equipment. It's all sitting over there, but that is what it is. An experiment I think with one I don't know. I was thinking about like an experiment where we have one big field that's blocked out for Nexat width, and then we would okay 70. That's about right. All right, so we buy 54. 55. That allow create on. Drop this. And then we just drive. Or now we're going at 270. We just go as long as we need to, or as long as we can. And yeah, some of this is getting slurry, but we're going to run out of slurry, but it's not a big deal. When it comes down to it. On the wrong. I really do want to stay in a straight line. We're going to have to paint. We're going to have to do some painting. Okay, so we don't need that yet. We've already learned a little bit about the fact that it doesn't actually work with the GPS. I'm just going to leave little bits of gaps here, and then we'll get it down to the right size. What's up with that? Huh. That was just laggy. Alright, well, I'm going to do this up and down for a while. And I'll come back to you when we're closer. Out of a slightly different plan. We're still going to go with the Nexat width. We're going to go with the full, as much of much field as I can reliably get, or maybe 2. We're going to grow enough in these guys that we can fill up. Oh wow, I am way off course. I'm going to go enough with these guys that we can fill up our... I'm just going to... Hopefully that is enough. That one of these fields will fill up one of the pig food factory ingredients. And so across several months we will eventually have everything filled up. And whatever's left over after filling it can go straight to whatever's left after filling it can go straight to stale. So for example, if we roll out a big old field here, it's basically full length. I'm going to square it off and everything, so having a little bit of extra width here and there doesn't matter. But once I square it off, I think I'll end up with a logical number of rows. And I'll just keep using the helper menu to determine when I've got it painted down to the right size. But for the moment we are just going to go back and forth again. So it doesn't matter too much if we're perfect on these ends either. Try to keep it somewhat close. Okay, that's enough of that for now. That's a big old field. We need to do some clearing work out here. Anyway, and then we can get another row of trees planted. I'm not even gonna worry about these trees because they are, like, all of these trees are tiny. It takes so much work when we can just feed oak into sawmills. Is there any reason to go actually keep any of these tiny trees? I think not. So we just make this room for another row of oaks. And eventually, yeah, we'll plant another row of oak over here. Although, pretty soon I'm going to want to get high lift and large size sawmill. We'll clear more of this eventually. We got to get a rock breaker too. Let me get these. Whoop, I am. That's funny. I gotta get these mist bits dealt with. Alright, so we're going to keep this here, but we got to go do some cleanup now. We'll start this way. Right. Well, now what we want to do is act like we are going to run this thing in helper mode and see if we can't get it down to exactly the right number of lanes, which is exactly this one, right? No. Wait. Alright, so... Okay, so it's the outer one. So we're short somewhere. I like this double line here. I'm not sure how that works because that's the proper line for this. You see this one? No, it's not. Okay. Right. So we're going to actually cut. We're going to cut that whole chunk off, which isn't actually all that much of a chunk, so that's fine. Dang it. Nope. I'm gonna go and oh, I know what I do. Yeah. No, that's the right one. Okay. Yeah. So now we're going to create this field properly. This final line ought to make it actually the proper width. We shouldn't end up with two. We shouldn't end up with that little extra chunk. This is probably as big as all of our other fields. I'm going to count the rows here in a minute, but I'm pretty sure. There we go. Turn off create. Lift it up. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And that looks like it hits just right. So we're cool there. We could make sure. Yeah, we're fine there. We look at this. Yeah, that's pretty much perfect. All right, so we got a nice squared off field, and it'll be ready for planting something, probably soybeans, which means this year we can go 3 potatoes and sorghum, all sorghum, and soy, and like these two plus the other one, the odd man out down there, can all be sorghum. Because we'll do that one in soybeans, and if it fills the soybeans in the pig food farm, then we can do something else in it next time. Maybe sorghum, maybe something else. We're going to be concentrating on pig food for a while. We're going to need another pig food factory, probably, if we're going to expand to another range of another set of pigs, which planning to do. Pigs are the big thing this series. Like, pigs are going to be our major money. Anything else is going to be secondary. So we want to grow our pig food. See just how much money we can make off pigs in the long run, which I think is probably a lot. Well, I don't know if we'll ever have slurry production that keeps up with how much slurry we need for the fields. We do have 15K here, but that's not enough. But this actually feels like a pretty good stopping point. We accomplished quite a bit. We need another month of slurry. And yeah, we need another month of slurry, and then we can probably hit that odd man out field for sorghum, and then by the time we ring back around ready to plant that field can be converted to another pig farm. And yeah, so yeah, this field can be converted to, well, probably more than one. Put another pig farm out here. Eventually we'll want to move our trailer, get a real farmhouse for once. Probably away from the pigs would be a good idea. Maybe over here, maybe up on top of this hill or something, we can build a nice winding road and line it with trees and put an actual nice big farmhouse up there, and yeah. But for now, that's what we got. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you next time.